Do you sometimes feel you're not good enough? Well, you're not alone. Everyone feels like this at some point or the other. Even the most successful people have their self doubting, fearful moments. But the difference is, they do not listen to that inner voice and they keep going. When we are growing up, even if we were in the best of circumstances, we had the best parents, the best caregivers, we still face some stressful moments. Maybe we were mocked by our friends in the classroom, maybe the teacher rebuked us, or maybe the parents were too busy at a time and they were not able to pay attention to us. And as kids, we do not have developed cognitive abilities. So, what we do is we internalize these response, we make it about us that maybe this is happening to me because there is something wrong with me, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I did something wrong, and we make it about ourselves. So, over time, when we have other negative experiences, we reinforce these beliefs, and then at a point, it kind of becomes a default script for us. So, whenever we have a negative experience in life, we just feel that it is happening because something is wrong with us, we are not good enough. We all have access to the same range of emotions and feelings. So, this emotional scale, which varies from negative to positive, from feelings of despair, sadness, grief, powerlessness, all the way to love, bliss, happiness, joy, freedom, we all have access to these emotions. It just depends on what side we are tapping into more. We all have our strong, happy, joyous, confident moments as well as fearful, confused, weak moments. And what side are you obsessing about more? That makes all the difference. So a person may have had more negative experiences than positive ones, but when they reflect on their past, if they are only tapping into the positive ones, that will propel them in the direction where they want to go, that will give them the push to go into the positive side. So it all depends on what side of scale we are looking at. And if we keep looking at the positive side, that is enough to tip the scale in the positive direction so that we are moving towards our goals instead of getting pulled down by these negative emotions. Also, a little amount of self reflection is good. We all need to appraise ourselves. We all need to see where we are headed and what kind of actions we are performing and what results it is having on people around us. If there is no self reflection, then someone would behave like a narcissist because they would not care about how their actions are impacting others. On the other hand, if there is too much of self appraisal, too much of self judgment, then we would be critical of every move and then we would not be able to function in an open and easy manner. Then we are just so focused on everything that we are doing that we don't have the freedom to operate. If we are too judgmental and too critical of ourselves, we cannot take any step in the right direction, and that's why we'll have this feeling of we are not good enough because we are putting so much pressure on ourselves. We need to let go a little bit and take spontaneous decisions so that we have this freedom of expression, and then we can move in the direction that we want to go. Allow yourself freedom so that you can express yourself creatively and you are not obsessing over every detail. Also, people that we admire, people that we look up to, even they have these weak moments where they have self doubt. It's just that when we are seeing them, when we are meeting them, or when we are looking at them on the screen or in some other setting, in those moments we are only seeing one side of them where they are full of life, where they are confident, where they are expressing themselves. But those other moments, we are not privy to those. Same applies to us. There are times in our own lives when we are joyous, full of happiness, and are celebrating. And in those moments, if someone else looked at us, they would have the same feeling. Wow, look at that person. They look amazing. I want to be like them. So, what we see and admire in others is also present in ourselves. It's just that we focus more on our negative traits than the positive ones. Don't give your power away to the outer packaging, how someone looks or what their personality traits are. Dig deep. All of us have access to this inner resilience, inner strength. The same source energy flows through all of us. So know that you also have access to all these resources within yourself. Also, when you're comparing, be fair. When we compare, we are in these desperate, depressed states, and what we do is the tendency is to compare our worst experiences, our worst scenarios with someone's best moments, shiniest experiences, and that is not a fair comparison to yourself. So be mindful when you are comparing yourself to others. When we do a fair comparison, then we can actually get data and use it to further better ourselves. But make sure you are doing a fair comparison. Ultimately, when push comes to shove, all of us have that inner resilience. We all have the capability to step up. That's where we hear events like a mom lifts the car to save her kids. People come together in emergency situations, rescue operations. So, all of us have the ability to go that extra mile when it is important. So give yourself credit. Recall events from the past when you were resilient, when you stepped up. Be your own friend. Know that you are good enough. Creation does not make mistakes. God, universe, energy, creation, whoever put you and me here does not make mistakes. We are here for a reason. If we were not good enough, if we were not worthy, then we wouldn't have been here to ask this question. The reason we are here is because we add value to the entire whole. Know you're worthy. It's similar to being a baby. A baby does not have to justify its worth, it just does not have to prove its worth so that it can get attention from the parent or love or care. Babies are inherently worthy. You would never look at a baby and judge whether a baby is worthy or not, whether a baby is good enough or not. That would be ridiculous, and the same applies to us. We have inherent value because we exist, and then whatever we do, whatever we achieve, that's just the icing on the cake. That does not determine our worth. We are worthy because we are here. So let go of perfectionism or approval from others. Know that you are good enough, and then from that space, do your best. And then, whatever the outcome is, positive or negative, that does not add to your worth or that does not take away from your worth. Your worth is inherent, it just adds to your experience, it just enhances you as a person, but it does not do anything to your value because your value is not derived from the results that you generate. Know that. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." That's the paradox. Once we accept ourselves, once we know we are worthy, we are good enough, that's what will be reflected back to us. And if we think we are not good enough, we'll see more manifestations of that because reality is a mirror. Anyone who achieved anything significant had to go through this process. They believed in their own power, they believed they were good enough, and they went ahead with their experiment or creativity. Like Thomas Edison, people mocked him, even discouraged him, but he knew that what he was doing was right. And then he finally saw the manifestation of it, and the world finally agreed with him. And that's the case for every significant discovery or achievement. Mahatma Gandhi said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." So once we accept our own power, once we know we are good enough, then we will see it reflected in the world. The same source energy flows through all of us. We are expressions of the same divine energy. So, what is possible for one expression is possible for every other expression. We are good enough. We are here because God, universe, creation wanted us here. So, let's own our power. Let's own our life and see this expression reflected by the reality around us. Thanks for watching. Bye.